So before starting our first chapter, I like to teach you some mathematical techniques that are very useful in the study of physics. Our first topic is factorial, how to calculate the factorial of a number. And factorial n will be defined as the continued product of first n natural numbers. And it is denoted by the symbol either this or this. That is factorial n will be equal to 1 into 2 into 3 so on up to n, and factorial 3 will be equal to 3 into 2 into 1, that is 6. Similarly, we can calculate factorial 5, that is 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into 1, it will be equal to 120. And remember one thing, factorial is defined only for positive numbers. And factorial 0 will be equal to 1. This is very important result. Now our next topic is very important, how to calculate the derivative of a function. So let fx be a function of x and y is equal to fx. From this expression you can clearly understand that value of y is depending upon fx. For example, if y is equal to x square minus 1, the value of y will be equal to 0 if we choose x is equal to 1, and value of y will be equal to 3 if we choose x is equal to 2, and similarly value of y will be equal to 8 if we choose x is equal to 3. So clearly y is depending upon the value of x. So y here is called the dependent variable and x is called the independent variable. So derivative of a function say y is defined as the rate of change of a dependent variable with respect to independent variable. Y is here dependent variable and x is independent variable, and dv by dx is known as the derivative of y with respect to x. Y is equal to fx because y is a function of x. So we will use derivative in situations when we want to calculate the rate of change of a particular function with respect to some other variables. So here I have written some standard formulae to calculate the derivative of various functions. So first is a derivative of a power function, that is x raised to power n is equal to n into x raised to power n minus 1. X is here a variable and n is a constant exponent. And next is a derivative of exponential function will be equal to ex, that is derivative of ex will be equal to ex. Now the derivative of logarithmic function, that is dv by dx into log x will be equal to 1 by x. Here this is known as the logarithmic function. You will study about logarithmic and exponential functions in the later chapters. So don't worry, just learn. Now the derivative of sin x will be equal to cos x, and derivative of cos x is equal to minus sin x, and derivative of tan x will be equal to secant square x. Similarly, derivative of cot x is equal to minus cosecant square x, and derivative of secant x will be equal to secant x into tan x, and derivative of cosecant x is equal to minus cosecant x into cot x. So students, remember all these formulae, these are very important, and remember one thing, that all the trigonometric function that starts with c, for example cos x, cot x and cosecant x, their derivative starts with the minus sign. So remember that thing, that all the trigonometric functions starting with c, their derivative starts from minus sign. And the most important thing is that derivative of any constant is always 0, because a constant cannot change its value, and derivative simply means the rate of change of a function with respect to some other variable. That means the function is changing its value with respect to some independent variable, but constant cannot change its value. For example, 2 will be 2, we can't change 2 with respect to other variable, and similarly 4 will be 4. Now we'll solve some basic questions. The very first is derivative of x raised to power 5. So remember that formula, it will be equal to 5 into x raised to power 4. And next, derivative of 1 by x cube, it will be equal to derivative of x raised to power minus 3, that minus 3 comes here and x raised to power minus 3 minus 1 and equal to minus 3 by x raised to power 4. Now some other important relations. If we have two functions, that is fx and gx, and they are differentiable, then the derivative of a whole bracket fx plus minus gx will be equal to derivative of fx plus minus a derivative of a gx. It will be equal to individual derivative plus minus both the functions. Now derivative of fx into gx will be equal to derivative of first function, that is fx into gx, plus first function, that is fx, into derivative of a second function, that is gx. It is commonly known as u into v form. Now the next relation, that is fx upon gx, derivative of fx upon gx. It is also known as u by v form. It will be equal to second function, that is gx, into derivative of fx minus fx into derivative of gx upon gx whole square. Students, now we will solve some questions so that you can better understand the concept. The first question is x square plus sin x plus 1 by x square. The derivative of that function will be equal to individual derivative of x square, sin x and x raised to power minus 2, and derivative of x square will be equal to 2x. Derivative of sin x we will all know will be equal to cos x, and derivative of x raised to power minus 2 will be equal to minus 2 into x raised to power minus 3, and the result is 2x plus cos x minus 2 by x raised to power 3. Now the next question is, we have to calculate the derivative of ex into x plus log x. Now in that question we will use u into v form. For example, this is our first function, that is u, and this entire bracket is our second function, that is v, and we all know the formula: first function into derivative of second function, then again plus first function into derivative of a second function. Ex as it is, and the derivative of x will be 1 plus derivative of log x will be 1 by x plus x plus log x as it is, and derivative of ex will be equal to ex. And we can take ex common from the entire bracket, and result will be 1 plus 1 by x plus log x. That's our. Now our final question is, we have to solve the derivative of x plus sin x upon x plus cos x. Any guess? Yes, this question is of u by v form, and you have to solve that question on your own. And students, try to solve more and more questions. You can simply search from the internet so that you can better understand the concept of a derivative. I hope all of you have understand well. Stay safe and healthy.